And hello again. This is Lewis by Raven. This is Quoth the Raven, my channel. And this is day 10 of Booktober 2020, where I do comic reviews every day for the month. Let's see what's going on today. John Norris, one of our regular. Whoa. Okay, sorry. Something just came up here. Let me close down a window here. Okay, there we go. John North, one of our regulars, says hello. Hello again, John. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got going on today. We got quite a bit going on, actually. At 2 o'clock p.m., as soon as I get this episode done, I'm going to be going into another episode, only it's going to be a live draw episode. So you might want to keep an eye out for that on the channel. Mm-hmm. There are no questions been asked today, so let's go ahead and go straight into the reviews. Our first book is Adventure Man number 4, $3.99 from publisher Image Comics. Writer is Matt Fraction, the artist are Terry and Rachel Dotson. Genre is superhero, pulp superhero fiction, superhero adventure, and it was released this week, October 7th, 2020. And what it's about, Claire Connell, that's the woman on the cover, disappears into the other dimensional world of Adventure Man once more, meets with the gentleman Jim, the mage from the stories from the Adventure Man books, who is now 107 years old, but is like an immortal and can't die for some reason. I guess it's because of the magic he cast makes him like he ages, but he can't die for some reason. Anyway, he explains to Claire how Adventure Incorporated got into the situation they're in and how she's now involved. Meanwhile, Baroness Bazaar breaches the mystical walls between the Adventure Man dimension and ours and sets forth to destroy both worlds. And Claire's son Timmy figures out how to find his mother, and the rest of the Connell clan, the new Adventure Incorporated, prepare to go find her. Recommended for ages 15 up. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's basically just an average modern day comic. Here's some of the artwork. And this is one of the scenes where Jill and Jim was explaining what happened and why he stopped the Baron Bazaar from destroying the world back in his thing. They had to obliterate everything from living memory. Adventure by Adventure Incorporated, all the trophies, everything gone. But, you know, death is only momentary. Being forgotten is forever. Only she remembers everything now and keeps remembering. And then it goes over to the new Baroness Bazaar, who's got one of the other members of the original Adventure Men, Phaedra, trapped in a time bubble or something. And so she's getting ready to prepare for her launch on her flying mechanical wasps into out of her dimension into ours. There you are. Yeah, it's not a bad book by any means. It's getting somewhere, at least. You know, it didn't. When I first started reading it, I wasn't really sure it was going to go, because it took like a double-sized first issue and they weren't going anywhere with it. It was really slow. But maybe they're going to get somewhere finally now. We'll see. Next book is Backtrack number 7 for $3.99. Publisher is Oni Press. The writer is Brian Jones. That is spelled correctly. Artist is Jake Alphick, and colors by Doug Garbark. Genre is science fiction. And again, this was released this week, October 7th, 2020. And what it's about is, for those of you who don't know the backstory in this book, a group of racers are sent through to race through time and other dimensions to win a certain prize. And each one of them has their own backstory of why they're in the race. So anyway, the racers are sent into the future, where, of course, they are chased by flying robo-drone cops who fire lasers at them because they are temporal fugitives invading the timeline. Moirai, which is one of the names of the racers, splits off from the group and goes off the track to handle some personal business, and Jackson, who's another one of the racers, whom we've already seen the backstory of in an earlier issue and know why he's in the race. And that's because his boy is dying of cancer, and if he wins it, he'll get the cure. is tasked by Quellex, who's the guy who's running the race, to follow Moirai. Meanwhile, the rest of the racers are trying to avoid being shot to pieces. And this is for ages 16 and up, and again, it's a 3 out of 5 star rating. Like the cover, it feels like a 1980s video game cover with the little drones shooting there. The only thing I don't like, in a way, although I know why it's done this way, it's got the lead character, I can't think of her name right now, but she's looking over her shoulder backwards, like she's driving the car backwards towards the drones instead of, otherwise. But I understand kind of why, because, if you just have the car back there, you don't know who's driving it. So if you're going to show her face, well, the best thing to do is have her looking over the shoulder like she's driving backwards. So, it makes sense in some context, but I don't know if it's the best thing to do, but it's okay. It's a decent cover. Let's look at the art. And this is where the drones find them, and they scan all the cars and say, oh, these aren't normal cars that belong in this timeline, and you don't have identification, and you don't have this, and you don't have that, so we're going to start shooting you. And immediate eradication. Yeah. And then this is with the two of them, pardon me, Jackson and Moirai. Moirai's confronting Jackson, asking him, why'd you follow me? And Quellex shows up and freezes time and explains to Jackson what he wants done to get rid of Moirai, which is basically put this little trinket of a bomb in his car, so that whenever they get to the next checkpoint, he won't be there. He either won't make the checkpoint or whatever. Now, whether or not he's going to do that or not, we'll see. And then it goes into a quick, I don't know what's going on here, but it's the racers, and it looks like one of them's a pirate outfit. And you wonder where they're at now, but probably, some sort of Pirates of the Caribbean type adventure next issue. So we'll see how that goes. Our next book is Stepping Stones and Max and the Midknights preview book from Free Comic Book Day #1. It's free. It was from Random House Kids Graphic, and the creators are Lucy. It should be Knisley, not Kinsley. I inverted the letters. Knisley for Stepping Stones, and Lincoln Pierce for Max and the Midknights, which I also misspelled somehow. I don't know how I did that. Put I before the E. Anyway, the first one, Stepping Stones, is an all-ages slice of life comedy, and Max and the Midknights is just comedy adventure. There is an ISBN number on it. It's 978-0-593-30334-4. And what it's about is Stepping Stones is about two middle school girls, Andrea, who likes to go by Andy, and Jennifer, who likes to go by Jen, whose respective parents are coming together as a couple, and they're likely going to wind up a family. At least that's what is implied. Andy's father introduces her to Jen and her mom at Jen's farm. Andy is a snotty know-it-all type, but often has bright ideas and knows what she's talking about. The problem is that makes Jen look dumb in various points of the storyline when she really isn't necessarily dumb. And it just makes both characters weaker than they should be, in my opinion. This is just a preview, though, so maybe the graphic novel as a whole will show the growth of both girls a little bit better, so I'm not going to knock it too much. It is for all ages. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. The Max and the Midnight stories is by the same creator who has the very successful Big Nate franchise for graphic novels. So if you're familiar with Big Nate, you'll probably like this as well. I find it merely average, but again, I'm looking at a 4 to 6 page preview of a graphic novel. Maybe there's more to it than what's being presented. I don't know. So I'm going to be positive about this concept as well and give it 4 stars. And here's some of the artwork. And the artwork is nice. It's pretty it's not simplistic. I mean, it's just straightforward. And one of the things is like, okay, he says, Jenny, come meet my girls. And, mom says, Jen, this is Andrea and Reese. Andrea and Reese, this is Jen. I prefer Andy, if you please. And she says, oh, okay, no problem. And they go off to, see some baby chicks. And they go to have this conversation. She goes, oh, by the way, I prefer Jen too. What? Walter, her father, Andrea's father, Andy's father, called me Jenny. I've told him before that I don't really like that. Well, my dad was just being nice. That kind of snottiness didn't make any sense. Wait a minute. Your dad was being nice, but calling her by her full name when she wants to be called shortened, but you want to be called your name shortened. So that double standard, it really makes me not like the character. To be honest. And there's other things like that in here. Like, she's naming all the different chicks she's naming them French, and she names one Chiquita. That doesn't fit with the French theme. Stuff like that. Andy decided to make a sale at the farmer's market without Jen's mother's approval. Then Jen's mother comes out. Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. Okay, that's cool. That's a good idea. That's wonderful. And Jen's trying to figure out how to make the change, and Andy's embarrassing Jen, and it just makes things a little bit rough. So I was just like, okay. I just didn't really care for how they did that, making Jen look like a lesser person. This is the art for Max and Midnights. And it's not bad. I mean, it's this is style that Lincoln Pierce does. It's cute for what it is. So I don't know if it's black and white inside the actual book, or if this preview is just black and white, or what is black and white in the preview book, but what it'll be in the actual full graphic novel, I don't know. Our third book. Well, actually, hold on. It might be our last one. It is our last book for the day. Is Zoo Patrol Squad Free Comic Book Day Book #1. It was free from Penguin Workshop. That's Penguin Publishing, book publishers. The creator is Brett Bean, and this is a preview book. Genre is all ages comedy adventure. It has an ISBN number of 978-059322-453-6. This is the Free Comic Book Edition's ISBN numbers, as was the other ISBN number I read earlier. They will have different numbers for their actual full graphic novels. This was released some point in late September, early October 2020. This is a preview of the first hardcover of Zoo Patrol Squad Kingdom Caper. It introduces us to the secret world of the animals of Wild Zoo Yonder, an animal sanctuary. A young pig named Penny has been transported there from the petting zoo, and she befriends a desert fox named Fenlock. Fenlock misleads Penny into thinking he's a brave adventurer, when in truth he's a coward afraid to leave his pen. When the zoo's lion goes missing, Penny is determined to find the truth as to what's happened, and Fenlock has no choice but to help her and prove to everyone he really is a hero. This is definitely recommended for all ages. I give it 5 stars. Bean's art is fun and well crafted. The concept is solid. The characters seem to be very well designed. It's possibly ripping from a certain Disney movie, Zootopia, but it also seems like Bean's doing his own thing with it. Fans of Zootopia should enjoy this series very much. I'm probably going to have to tell you to order this from a bookstore, because I don't see where the LCSs will be carrying the full GN, full graphic novel. Some will, but I don't think very many around. Very many, because I don't see these kind of companies getting represented in comic shops all that often, which is a shame, really. So that might be something for people to consider if you're interested in the book. Well, it shouldn't be that hard to track down, nor should the the other Free Comic Book Day I just reviewed with Mad Max, yeah, with Max and the Midnighters and Stepping Stones. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the artwork. And there's Penny looking around, and there's a little bit of an owly type character sitting there in the bottom left corner. It's just, it's an interesting thing. And she's complimenting Fenlock, who was basically watching a TV show about a spy, and he's emulating the spy's actions while that was going. And she makes a greeting comment. Oh, okay, fine. Yes, I am a swashbuckling, karate chopping action hero. Cool. And then, like I said, he's basically a fanboy, which is he can do all this cool stuff. Now, there's in the back of that particular pre-book, there was also advertisements that caught my attention. I'm going to be looking for these, especially the one on the left. Bow before your evil alien warlord cat, Claude. Claude wants to take over the world. Raj just wants to survive middle school. Sounds like fun to me. I'm going to be looking for those. That's by Dave. I don't know who's actually the creator on this, but I'll be looking for that. The Last Kids on Earth, I'm not sure. It's a Netflix original series now, but I'm not sure I'm going to get that one as much because I've already read Last Boy and Last Living Girl on Earth from Paper Cuts, and it's the same shtick, and I don't know about if I'm interested in that one as much, but I'm definitely interested in finding out more about Claude. Zoo Patrol Squad sounds cool, says John. And yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to finding more about that as well. So that is our conclusion for today's episode of Booktober. Sorry, it's short, but I have to spend more time on the live draw. It starts at 2:00, so it was better I just do a few reviews today. Now, tomorrow will be these 3 books for our review. Batman: The Adventures Continue, number 5, Far Sector number 8, and No One's Rose number 5. Those will be the 3 books we review tomorrow. And that'll be around 12 or 12:30 tomorrow. We will also have another live draw event tomorrow as well. So until then, I'll see you guys on the live draw event in about an hour and a half or so. Actually, about an hour and 15 minutes. And until then, stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hold on a second. We got a problem here with the computer again. It's not wanting to do what I want it to do. There we go. If you want to reach me on Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, DeviantArt.com/BrightRaven, on YouTube at Quoth the Raven, Lewis BrightRaven. If you have any questions, you can email me at quothetheravenlbr72@gmail.com or Yahoo at lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. The podcast normally airs weekly on Thursdays, but for Booktober, we do it daily. Now, hopefully, we can get this thing going right. Nope, it's being fussy. I told you it's being fussy today. I don't want that. That's what we want. Okay, folks. See you in a little bit.